is Jesse McCree? It'd probably be easy enough to write him off as just some generic cybernetic cowboy, but there's more than that. So there was recently a thread posted up by Reddit user Toss20 that claimed to have found the direct inspiration for not only his iconic gun, the Peacekeeper, but also his name, McCree. He points to a Wikipedia page for a gun of the same name, the Peacekeeper revolver, which was a light gun released in '94 and bundled with, get this, the game Mad Dog McCree, a live-action arcade game set in the Wild West. So immediately you look at this and you go, case closed, we got you, Blizzard. You copied directly from not only this game, the character's name, but also the name of his gun. But there's more to the story than this, and I think there's more we have to consider. So let's start off by taking a look at McCree's gun. It is a futuristic double-action revolver. Now, historically, there are single-action revolvers, the Colt 45 being one of the most popular, that are often referred to as peacemakers. And yes, even at times, they are called peacekeepers. So the name Peacekeeper for a revolver is a fairly common one. And in an interview that was done with Blizzard, they claimed that their inspiration for the gun actually came from Half-Life 1's Colt Python, which itself was modeled after the real-life weapon, the Colt Python, a double-action handgun. So the inspiration for his gun, this double-action revolver, there are revolvers often referred to as peacemakers, sometimes even peacekeepers. The name of the gun, and the name of the gun is incredibly generic itself. It's just, think about kind of the weight to that name. A peacemaker, a peacekeeper. It's a weapon that keeps the peace or makes the peace, whatever derivative of that you want to take. So it's a pretty common thing, and that itself isn't, excuse the pun, enough of a smoking gun. But then of course we have the fact that this gun was bundled with a game that was called Mad Dog McCree, featuring a rather generic looking cowboy with a red scarf or sash. But cowboys with scarves and sashes are plentiful, and one of the most iconic being Clint Eastwood as the man with no name, the protagonist in the renowned Dollars trilogy of spaghetti western films. Clint Eastwood as this character has pretty much inspired almost every badass western character that we've seen since that series was released. I don't really think there's any denying that. And then with his name, McCree, that's where you really start to get suspicious. However, similar to their design inspiration for Zarya, Blizzard went into their company with the choice of the name McCree, as Jesse McCree is the exact name of one of their employees, the lead game designer who was originally a lead level designer for World of Warcraft, later moving on to the Diablo franchise by that same name, Jesse McCree. So yes, the similarities are uncanny. There is a revolver called the Peacekeeper with a game called Mad Dog McCree. However, like any character, I think it seems obvious that McCree's inspiration was pulled from numerous places. The simple popularity of revolvers, sometimes called peacemakers / peacekeepers, in Western mythology. The look of the man with no name, a cowboy with a scarf or a sash, and the name of one of their employees. The list goes on and on. With all of that said, come the fuck on, Blizzard. What? You take me for a joke? It just seems too coincidental. Mad Dog McCree the game, bundled with a weapon called the Peacekeeper. There's some obvious inspiration there, and that's fine. Inspiration is all well and good. It happens in every single thing you could possibly think of. Anything that anyone has created has come from inspiration from elsewhere. See, at some point, people decide to draw the line between inspiration and straight ripoff, and, you know, that's totally for you to decide. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like this was just a Control-C, Control-V situation, if you know what I'm saying. It was really fun to dive into some of the history of this character and maybe where these inspirations came from. I hope you guys enjoyed this closer look at the true identity of Jesse McCree. Now, before we wrap up today's video, I did want to let you know in a little bit of Overwatch news that Jeff Kaplan did come out this afternoon to talk about some upcoming maps. They've got 3 standard maps, which would be going into quick play / competitive, that will be planned for this year. So we're already 4 months into the year, so within the next 8 months, they're planning 3 new maps if all goes according to plan. That's actually rather crazy. On top of that, they're also working on 3 non-standard maps. These wouldn't be for quick play or competitive, so this leads me to believe that these could be some upcoming brawls for some unannounced events, or possibly even some new elimination maps, or maybe they're working on some non-competitive / quick play game modes that they're going to put in the arcade, and there are new maps to coincide with that. And then he finally also said there's a few experimental things that they're working on top of that. So lots of on the horizon for new content, at least in the map category, coming up this year. That's pretty exciting stuff. And then I guess also finally, I did just want to come back with a follow-up to yesterday's video. We talked about people getting booted from games or leaving games being punished more harshly. I did reach out to those of you who follow me on Twitter and ask if anyone else was experiencing this, because we had only really had anecdotal evidence. There was a thread claiming this was happening. I wasn't going to go into a match and try to verify it myself by quitting a game and screwing my team over, but I reached out and asked anyone who maybe had internet problems since the Uprising event or whatever the issue was, if this was happening. I had several people come back and tell me yes, it was in fact happening. They would leave the game, and even though they'd come back within a minute, they still received a loss and they still received a leaver penalty. So I don't know if this is intentional by Blizzard, if this is just a bug that's happening, but based on these anecdotal reports, people are claiming that it is happening. So I hope this gets addressed in one way or another by Blizzard, because there's a grace period for a reason. You should be able to come back and not be punished if you get momentarily disconnected. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.